Today I'm going to talk about 5 running backs that's going to get a major boost in volume. Let me tell you why. Let's go. Every year, every team in the offseason, for the most part, has players that change teams, which opens up a lot of opportunities. Sometimes it's wide receiver, sometimes it's running back, sometimes it's offense, sometimes it's defense. The main statistics that matter is vacated targets. They always benefit the running back. So today, I want to talk about the 5 teams with the most vacated targets and how it's going to affect their running back room. So first, let's look at the Chargers. Obviously, they lost Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Ekeler, among other people. They're losing almost 400 targets. Justin Herbert for his career has averaged over 4,300 yards and about 28.5 touchdown passes. So let's just go ahead and chalk him up for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Is it going to go to Quentin Johnson? Is it going to go to Josh Palmer? Someone has to catch the ball. Their running backs are going to get a massive uptick in volume, not only in the rushing game. Their offensive line is a lot better. We know they drafted starters on the offensive line. Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball. I've stated it many times. They signed Gus Edwards, which is one of the first signatures in free agency. It's not like they had to settle for him. That's one of the guys they went out and got. They also went and signed J.K. Dobbins once he passed his physical. They want to run the ball, but at the same time, Justin Herbert is going to need to throw the ball. He's going to have to throw it to someone. Quentin Johnson is getting a lot of love right now in the offseason by his coaches, saying he's going to have a big year. He's going to have a bounce-back year, and understandably so. He was a first-round draft pick last year, which didn't pan out. They don't want people saying they made the wrong pick. They want to see that draft pick succeed. And Josh Palmer is a nice player, but we've never really seen him being an alpha. We've never seen him be a number 1 wide receiver on the team. We've seen what Justin Herbert has done with, the likes of Austin Ekeler. He loves to check down to the running back. And yes, I get it. Austin Ekeler is a much better pass catcher than J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. But point being is that Justin Herbert is going to throw the ball, and he's going to throw the ball to the running backs. The good thing about these running backs are it's pretty much a split backfield. Is it Gus Edwards? Is J.K. Dobbins? So that's going to push your ADP lower and lower and lower. Grab whichever one falls to you at value. Let's talk about the Bills. They lost Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. They lost some heavy hitters on offense. Josh Allen is still a top 5 quarterback. Again, just like Justin Herbert, he's going to throw the ball for around 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Who's going to catch those balls? None other than James Cook. Let's look at it like this. The Buffalo Bills had 22 rushing touchdowns last year. James Cook, their starting running back, had only 2 of those rushing touchdowns. He's going to have positive regression in that rushing aspect. He had 230 attempts, and he got 2 rushing touchdowns. On the flip side, he had a little over 50 targets and got 4 touchdowns on those targets. That was splitting time with Latavius Murray. James Cook is the workhorse in this backfield. He's going to get the rushing. He's going to get the passing. He's one of the players that this offense trusts. Not only the offensive coordinator, but Josh Allen himself. He's got a lot of new pieces on this offense, including Mac Hollins, Curtis Samuel, MDS. But he trusts James Cook, and his volume is going to get an uptick, especially in the receiving game. Let's talk about the Commanders. Now, I was one for saying that Austin Ekeler's fantasy value is pretty much dead, and really wouldn't trust him, and I really wouldn't feel confident drafting him. But at the same time, it all depends on where he's drafted. Is he a first-round running back anymore? No. Second round? No. Third, fourth round is where I would start to look at him, simply because of the volume that he's going to get. Austin Ekeler is a better running back than Antonio Gibson. Yes. And even Gibson got over 50 targets last year. What do you think Austin Ekeler is going to get? Brian Robinson is the thumper between the tackles, goal line running back, which does hurt Austin Ekeler's value, but at the same time, he's not a pass catcher. Austin Ekeler will get all the checkdowns, third downward, 2-minute drills. He won't have to come up the field for those plays. You also have to look at the new offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury's equals targets. If you don't believe me, between 2019 and 2022, those years that he coached the Cardinals, the running backs averaged 104 targets. Last year, when he was at USC, the running backs got 84 targets. So you can say, well, Kyler wasn't there. Backup quarterback, they had a lot of other variables. Again, that's a 4-year span. Kyler didn't play all those games. And that offense provided an average of 104 targets to the running back. Cliff Kingsbury's scheme helps the running back position, which obviously helps Austin Ekeler. Maybe that if Ekeler falls to you in the draft, you can feel comfortable picking him up. At the very least, you're able to slot him in as your flex option. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be, your RB1, but I think that he should have enough value to be safe. He's not a sexy draft pick. Wouldn't draft him with a first overall pick or even my second overall pick. But if you can maybe get him towards the end of the third, fourth, even fifth round, you should feel comfortable with that. And he's going to get massive value. Will it be efficient? Probably not. But at the end of the day, beggars can't be choosers. The Bengals not only got rid of Tyler Boyd, but they also got rid of Joe Mixon in exchange for Zack Moss. Joe Mixon got 64 targets last year, and that was only in 10 games. And on top of that, Joe Burrow didn't even play all the games. He was struggling with injuries the entire year. I know what you're thinking. Joe Burrow is going to throw the ball, but he loves Jamar Chase. He loves T. Higgins. Well, let's look at this. Jamar Chase got 145 targets last year. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd got 175 combined. Are you telling me there's no room for Zack Moss to get over 60 targets again this year? There's volume to be had in this offense. Again, as long as Joey B stays healthy, Zack Moss isn't really known to be a pass catcher, but again, the offense provides opportunity for the running back to catch the ball. And that's going to help Zack Moss, on top of being in one of the best offenses in the NFL. So when Zack Moss falls to you in the draft, scoop him up. And last but not least, let's talk about a top 5 running back last year who was still underrated. Let's talk about Travis Etienne. Etienne had over 70 targets last year, and that was a down year for Trevor Lawrence. There is no running back committee. They don't trust Tank Bixby. Yes, I understand the coach is saying they want to limit his touches and they want to give him too much volume, but we're months away from the football season. That's going to change. They said that last year, remember? That's why they drafted Tank Bixby. And how did that work out? He finishes a top 4 running back. Calvin Ridley's gone. Zay Jones is gone. Many of the targets is going to open up. Again, Trevor Lawrence has that connection with Travis Etienne going back to college. He trusts him. He's going to give him the ball. I think that drafting Travis Etienne as a top 10 running back is a slam dunk. And he has top 5 potential. So those are the 5 running backs that I believe will get a massive volume uptake because of the vacated targets. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Remember, subscribe to see more content from me and everyone here at Just in Time Media.